All right. We're back again. This is Top of the Bridge podcast, and I am your host, Edwin. And today I am here with Big Rob. Good evening, Big Rob.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a while.
It's been a
It's been
while. It's nice to have you back on the podcast here. All right,
yeah.
well, let's get into it. With Chelsea again, ups and downs. Right now, we have been on the up, and it's nearly blue again. Welcome to Top of the Bridge, and today we call our podcast Nearly Blue Again. And if you're catching us live, welcome. And if you're watching the recording of this, thank you for tuning in and taking time to listen to our podcast here. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe everywhere. Socials, we're at Top of the Bridge Pod. Thank you. All right. So today, it's exciting times. We're not here with questions or gloom anymore. We're happy. We're excited. Things are looking great. So yeah, let's go on and start right now. First and foremost, the PL results in the last couple of games. We faced Brighton, and then
Yep.
on Sunday we played Forest.
Forest.
How you feeling about those two games?
So honestly, I'm happy with the results we have so far. Obviously with the Brighton game, it was a win. Scored what 4 goals. The defense still needs some work, but overall, we're winning. We're gaining points. We're tying and dropping points, but it was Forest. This season, they've proven to be stubborn a little bit with their defense, and it was a great game that we just played against them on Sunday. We had a couple of chances that we could have put away. That goalie was amazing. They had a couple of chances that they could have scored on us, but our goalie was amazing. So it was a good game. I'm happy with that performance from Sunday. But overall, like I said, we're gaining points. We're doing what we're supposed to do. I feel like everything is going the way it should so far. So I'm happy.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think the game against Forest is probably one of those draws where you come back and feel like that was a fair point because they could have won, we could have won, and at the end of the day, the defense did their thing on both sides of the game. So yeah,
Yep.
I'm happy with the draw. I think especially if you compare to the game that Forest had against Liverpool, where they were able to smash and grab,
Yep.
and at Anfield, no less. So it's definitely a so hey, you always want the win, but sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, in this case, I think it was a points gained than 2 points dropped.
Yep. Yep.
On the
Yes, sir.
Brighton game, um, that was a fiesta. That was a game filled with errors. It was as exciting. It was as terrible as it was exciting. It
Mhm.
was everything that is great about Chelsea, and then unfortunately everything that is also wrong with Chelsea. Um, we saw too many lapses in that game.
Yep. So with that game, and like you said, everything that could go right and also everything that could go wrong, which I'm like, well, here's the thing. At this point, our team is kind of set up where it's like offense and defense. If the offense is doing what they need to do and the defense is really not that solid, we would be fine. And that's what the team is set up now. I mean, I hope the defense get their stuff together, but as long as the offense is doing what they're supposed to do and putting away these goals, but blah blah blah, just taking your chances and making it count, then it's gonna be fine. You know, that's
Right.
that's what I feel. That's how I feel the team is set up right now.
Yeah, I mean, I did jokingly say that if we are able to get players to score the goals and we can score 3 4 goals every game, then we don't need clean sheets. But from how things are moving, I think clean sheets might become necessary. So I'm gonna take that one back. I'm gonna take it back because uh, if the teams are open, we're playing well because they're playing exactly how we want them to play against us, right?
Yep.
And I have I sat down and thought about it. It's like, yes, we've been good, but also some teams have just been playing right into our hands, and
Yeah.
it's been working great. And there's this disease going on right now where teams just don't want to adapt. AKA, if you're passing from the back and it's not working, boot it. They're not doing it,
It
and
was,
Chelsea's
it was
punishing them for it.
what game was I even watching? Who did Spurs play yesterday? Was it Spurs
Brighton,
that played? They played
Brighton,
Brighton.
yes.
Okay. So I was watching the game and then Brighton had a goal kick and the keeper he kicked the ball in. And in my head I'm like, oh shit, we still doing like actual goal kicks? 'Cause I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, some teams are definitely doing it, and I mean Manchester City does it at points, and I mean I think Edison grabbed an assist off of one of those. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
he had like a long throw or like a long kick to
Yeah, me
to Holland.
me personally, I'm not a fan of playing from the back. Because I seen and I seen a video recently. Actually, it was today I saw that video. There was a game in one of the German leagues
Mhm.
where the goalie had the ball. It wasn't a goal kick or anything. So like in play, opposition team got the chance. They messed it up, and then the goalie grabbed the ball. He went to go roll it over to the defender to like start the play. The defender was in his mind thought it was a goal kick, so he grabbed the ball to like put it on the line, and then
Oh,
they got a PK.
amateur stuff, man.
Yeah,
Amateur stuff.
but yeah, that whole playing from the back thing, me personally, I don't like it. Puts it. I feel like it kind of puts too much pressure when it works right, and with the way like Enzo Maresca wants it to work. When it works right, it's beautiful. But it's just that pressure. I don't like that pressure. Just kick it in, win that second ball if you can't win the first ball, and then build on that. But hey, it is what it is. We'll take what we have and then hope for the best.
Yeah, it's like we always have that crazy amount of possession in games. I think the Brighton game we had less, but in most games we have a lot of those, and uh, most of that possession is between the midfield and the defense, which tells me that the ball is not moving where it really needs to be. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you would have Fofana and Coyle have way too many touches for my liking,
Mhm.
and I mean, when BB is playing in those lesser games, it even gets scarier. So yeah, I'm definitely with you on
Uh,
that.
DB.
Not a big fan. I mean, I'm hoping that they'll start doing a little bit more side, like instead of like playing into the CBs, play to the left backs or right back and let them
Yeah,
do it away from the goal, because sometimes Sanchez be shaky even when he's playing from the back.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't want to add that extra pressure. He doesn't need that. Let him just do his shot stopping and keep it moving. But yeah, so I think in the league we're looking fine. We're looking fine on those.
Yeah, definitely agree. I'm happy. I'm happy. I haven't felt like this about the team in a long time. I'm okay with it.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
have I have some juicy stuff at the end, so we'll get there
All right. All
about
right.
the team performance right now. And in between that, we did have a conference league game against Ghent,
Mhm.
which was also at home. So I think we've had 3 consecutive home games, and luckily we haven't lost any of those. So we're looking. It's a step forward. It's nearly blue again.
So in that game, in that conference league game, same thing. Offense was doing what it was supposed to do, and then the defense did what they do.
Right.
Gave away some chances, blah blah blah. So with that one, I didn't really watch the full game. I just watched the highlights. But I feel like so technically that's not the A team. That's considered the B team.
Right.
But even them, like once they're out there, I feel they understand their roles. They know what to do, and they go execute.
Right.
If there's a need for reinforcement, then the A team guys will come help a little bit. But even with the B team that we have for conference league now, I feel like even them, even some of them can play and start in some of the Premier League games, and it will be fine. Like together as a whole, I feel like everybody is now on the same page, and they all know their roles, depending on whatever position you're in. Blah blah blah. They all know their roles. sometimes they might get carried away, and then execution is bad, and what like they don't take their chances, or they just dribble into players and stuff like that.
Right.
But I feel like everybody understands their roles, whether you're starting or you're coming off the bench. So that conference league game was somewhat similar to the Brighton game, where we dominated, we did what we're supposed to do, but then we let a couple in, which took away that clean sheet. But overall, it wasn't bad.
All right. Let's take this law to welcome in our third panelist, Dr. D. Dr. D is in the house. We're currently talking about our conference league game against Ghent and how the team performed.
All right. So you want my take on it, or I mean, where y'all at on that?
You are welcome to give your take, sir.
Oh, okay. I think it was a wonderful game. For me, based on the fact that the whole squad was kind of like flipped, and you have a whole new set of folks, and then the other folks that weren't in the play, were at the stadium, obviously in street clothes, supporting their teammates. I think that was cute to see, and so that's one thing I've been wanting to say for a minute now. It's like, so you look at management, right? We've talked about coaching for some time. There was a time, was it last season or two, whatever, we had an issue where these coaches were talking about, oh, they have so many players on the squad and this and this and that. It was a whole bunch of, commotion around the team. But you see this coach now has managed to use the same, even if not even more, players that he's managed to trim and place people in places where he needs them or where he would like them to be, and manage. I feel like his man management is like straightforward. It's either you with it or you're not. I want you here or I don't. And that has created, I feel like it's created a wonderful harmony among the team. One would have thought that Chilwell would have been, upset and not want to play and, throwing a tantrum all over the place and things of that nature. But he's managed to kind of like put him in a fold where I feel like is towards a great direction, and the players came out to play very well. I mean, they got a bit complacent. Hence the reason they conceded, which obviously, I mean, we've been conceding, but I think the whole squad came out to play very well. And much credit to Modric. He's been taking a lot of hit, but on that day, I feel like he showed out well. Not a lot of mistakes. His decision making was like he was picking up the ball and driving and charging, and I think I give him a lot of credit for that. Yes, yeah, he came in high profile, but I mean, for everything that he's had in the previous year, I think I give him that due credit for that.
Yeah, and on your man management piece, I think there is some good there, but it's also a very fortunate situation compared to 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
if you're in Champions League, you cannot chop 11 players and then put in another 11 players in Champions League game versus Barrow and Champions and UEFA Champions League Conference League teams. You can easily do those kind of things. And sadly, 2 years ago, Chelsea's first League Cup game was against City. They lost that. Their first FA Cup game was against City. They lost that, which means you don't have games to give players you don't see as part of your A team. You know what I mean? So I think this is a good situation for this coach here, where you can pull 11 players out and pull the next 11. And that second 11 includes Nkunku, who was a Bundesliga star, and then Felix, who was a Portuguese league star, and then Neto, who is a Premier League bona fide star in his own right. So there are a lot of things that are working very well for this coach here, which is why I said I expect a whole lot more than I did from Parks, because there's a lot that are good for him.
But I see Robert is probably yearning to say something, but But Edwin, personally, that's where I feel like I have issue with you.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to say like issue as in like personal. No, ain't nothing personal there. But my point is, it's like I feel like for what you just said, right? You had the same people there, and Todd got hits upon hits. I mean, not for you per se, like there were times like you hear or you get on the platform and you hear things like, oh, this the owners don't know what they're doing. They don't know this, they don't have a plan. No, it's one thing having a plan, and another thing, it's not working. If it's not working, it doesn't mean there's no plan. You see what I'm saying? But now all of a sudden, Chelsea has a plan. Why? Because it's working. You see what I'm saying? Like, my point is, we had the same folks. We had the same Felix. We had the same Nkunku. Yes, obviously he was injured. We had the same, folks that you labeled, obviously outside of Neto, which, yeah, I mean, he's a different factor in there. But the point of the matter is winning is driving this sense of harmony. Is driving this sense of feeling within the team, which obviously helps. And that's something I've been saying for the longest time. Sometimes it seems like, I'm against the situation or some argument, but I'm not really against it. My point is this: give it time. Environment changes a lot. Environment can affect a whole lot. So for all you know, guess what? The other coaches weren't bad. It's just the environment at the time that just did not work. And as I've always said or mentioned, construction, when you start construction, is ugly. When you finish it, it's beautiful. And we see that beauty taking shape slowly, as we're now scoring. We're putting chances away. We're getting lucky, as you like to say. We're getting lucky now because, you got teams missing chances and then we're scoring. I mean, you see Liverpool pulling out a win out of nowhere when they didn't play shit. I mean, these things do happen. But my thing is, it's happening, and I feel vindicated. And I feel like Todd is sitting somewhere in his suite, smiling and laughing and giggling and saying to himself, all the hit I've gotten, I'm used to this. I'm here to stay. I'm here to win. The plan is going to work.
So with all that, right? I feel like, yes, I get where you're coming from, but it's not necessarily the same because it's a new manager and his management style is different.
Okay.
So with the way he's doing it is what's making it work. That's what I think. Like some of the other managers will probably not have the confidence to drop Chilwell,
Nkunku.
or even drop Nkunku and make him a sub. Right now he's a permanent sub, or even just plays Conference League. Some coaches might not have the boldness to do such a thing, which I feel like that's what's helping us right now. His management style, and then he's also straightforward about it. If he's not gonna use you, he's gonna let you know. If you're fucking up or messing up, he's gonna let you know. Like he came out and said what he needed from Mudryk, and now in this past game, that Conference League game, we saw some improvement. Hopefully it gets better, and then Mudryk can somewhat get back. I don't think he's going to be that superstar that we're all expecting him to be, but it will definitely get better.
Hey, he showed something over the weekend too, though.
Huh?
Over the weekend, he did well when he came on. He showed the same flashes. And I could.
No, he was decent. He had that one cross.
Decent. It was decent, yeah. But yeah, I say all of that just to say, like, yes, it's the same ownership, and them doing their thing and buying all these players, blah blah blah. They haven't changed their style. They're just doing what they want to do. Whether they know what they're doing or not, I don't know. But I would give all the credit to the coach, the manager. He has changed everything with his managerial skills and his tactics, and I'll give him the credit for everything that's going on right now.
Right. So yeah, there is some credit there, but I think to go back on D's point, the expectation when Potter picked Chelsea up was here. Right now, expectations is here. So the bar is not high right now. So it's think about it this way: if Maresca was picking up from where Tuchel picked up, right? The expectation is somewhere here.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's here. So it's like when we're saying that, the same players, that Felix was here, was there. They were in Champions League and they were very close. Well, the season before they were close to knocking out Real, but then the second one they were not. They did not really give Real a fight because that was when Lampard was in charge. It was not a great one. But coming for a Champions League team versus a Conference League team is a different ball game. You know what I mean? And then secondly, Maresca is doing all right, but it's still with the same settled squad that Poch had, minus Gallagher playing every game and the injured players coming back, right? And dropping Nkunku is easy when you have Palmer in his position and he's doing great.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that Nkunku is not terrible, but he's not his best on the left or as a striker from the start. He hasn't really done the job against the PL teams so far. I would like to see him get another run as a striker every now and then in the PL games, not just against, like
he's
Gens
about
and Barrow. So
he's about to.
I hope to see it. I would love to see like Felix, Nkunku and Neto and them
Jackson
get a little
is
bit
about
more
to get
minutes.
suspended, bro. I mean, he did it himself. I mean,
Man, that is
great.
something we need to talk about. Discipline is something we need to talk about at the end of this pod. All right. Well, guys, let's reel it in because I think we already started going in there. So let's just segue right into it. Our next
Hey, hold on. Before you go in, before you say that, I had a rebut. So look, I know you talk about expectation. Is it expectation off of your plate or expectations off of the football world? Because last time I checked, everybody be dissing us and throwing all kinds of jabs at us with reference to 1 billion spent on players, right?
Right.
So the expectations, as you just mentioned, it's still up there. It don't matter where it's at. The price tags are still there. The expectations is the reasons why some folks see Hernandez as not doing well. You see what I'm saying? Expectations is the reason why.
Fernandez?
Yeah.
Okay.
Expectations is the reason why
Right.
people don't see what he's bringing to the table. Had he been bought for 20 million or even 50 million, nobody's going to be talking about that expectation. So I feel like the expectation is still up there. It's just after 2 years, maybe it's still there, but it's like kind of like,
It's
okay,
not. No,
what
it's
did
not.
you expect?
It's not. It's not up there. It's not up there. I'm sorry.
Because
It's not.
people think the team was the guys weren't good enough. That's
Right.
what they think. It wasn't good enough, but still the expectation is up. You're not being good enough doesn't mean your expectation has lowered. It's still up there. That's what it is.
Maybe Chelsea as a club has high expectations because of their historical. I mean, even Manchester United fans think they should have this much of expectations, right?
They stupid. That's a different. They stupid.
If Manchester United fans have some type of expectation right now, they are delusional.
They just delusional, man.
But realistically, right? If you finish 12th and 6th, you're not still like at the top 4 expectations, right?
Right.
They're not even top 10.
As games keep happening, people will adjust what they think you're capable of.
True.
But I'm talking about starting the year. Mm-hmm. All of us did prediction. And you know, D, I'll give you one thing. Even if you sound delusional, you are consistently delusional that Chelsea is here, right? So I'll give you that.
However, I'm not flip-flopping.
You're not, and I'll give you that. See, I am okay with you. I'm okay with somebody, right, being yourself unapologetically and always being there. And I appreciate that because there are a lot of people on our platform who flip-flop every day, right? So
yeah,
all I'm saying is I don't flip-flop. I keep telling you, bro. I put my points and I stand by them. If you pull receipts that I said something else, I will happily admit to it.
Why you keep talking about these receipts, man? You say this because you know damn well brothers don't got no receipts. I don't have it. I would be more than happy to pull it and then show
call me on one. Call me on one thing I have
flip-flopped on. Bro, you know how hard I'm trying to pull you out? Like, because I feel like, okay, so this is the thing. Right. You say things, right? I respect it. right? I respect the things that you say, but sometimes I feel like you're too harsh on your like when you talk about stats, because you like to talk stats quite a bit.
I
So
have
I
a
feel
lot
like
for you today.
sometimes when you do it, I'm like, this guy, why are you expecting so much from this person, that person, and this and that, and the owners and recruitment, and like you getting into a zone where I feel like as fans, right? And this is why part of the reason I'm quite consistent is because I feel like I put myself in a place where I know, okay, I'm a fan versus I'm in charge. I cannot
Right.
do that job. I can say all I want to do, but I can't do it. It comes with a lot of there's finances, there's a whole bunch of stuff. And even Maresca did mention it a couple of days ago, where he talked about the market drives some of these things, and it's not the players' fault that this is happening, but it does happen. We move on from there. But my point is, like, I feel like we tend to get into a zone that we shouldn't be, right? We have every reason, every right to be upset and speak our mind about like somebody not passing. Like, I know we're gonna get into that, like people being selfish and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, we have to know how to bridge the gap between I'm a fan and I'm a financial expert when it comes to football or sport related stuff. Because sometimes it drives us to say things we shouldn't be saying, like things we have no clue about. Then we talk about. That's my thing.
The question for you, right? If Arsenal, let's say Arsenal spent 1 billion and finished 12th and 6th, what would you say?
Man, they're stupid.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
Now, I am consistent with that.
They won't spend it. I'll be like, what they sipping on? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is not
right.
Arsenal. It's not
right. So me, right? Knowing all the banter you take from your fellow like Premier League fans, like just sit back, right? And imagine all the players you buy,
and just flip it.
And then it just doesn't make sense sometimes, right? That is why we talk about it that way, right? Okay, imagine this, right? You need a certain player, and then you're loading the team with 18-year-olds. If you're sitting on the back, you're like, what are you doing to my team?
We're building for the future. That's all it is.
But we have 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds as the first teamers. How many future players do we need?
A lot of them.
Hey, like I said, if you're nothing else, you are consistently delusional, and I can appreciate it.
Yeah, we need a lot of them, man. I mean, a few years ago, let me tell you something. Look, a few years ago, right, somebody said something about Real Madrid and the things that we're doing. And at the time, Chelsea's average age was very high. You had the Lamps, you have Terry, you have Ballads. I mean, the list was long. And we didn't have anybody coming from behind them to take the place. Our problem is deeper than what you think. It was way before, right?
It was.
And I feel like they looked at that. And hence the reason they're trying to bring in all these young folks. Now look at our squad. We have the youngest squad in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken. The youngest squad.
I think
which means they get to play together for a mighty long time, right? So then you have teams who have players who will be retiring in the next year, while we have the closest person we have to retire on our team is probably Ben Chilwell. I could be wrong.
James.
Who's that?
Reece James.
Oh, based off an injury, but based off an age, Chilwell is the only one that has
retired.
Right?
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah. So that average age right there for me, right? It's like, okay, it set us 10 years ahead of everybody else. They can do whatever they want to do, but if we're able to maintain the squad with less exits, right? What we're building here is going to dominate football in the next 10 years.
All right, we'll keep it there. All right, so now let's jump into the coach tactics and the team selection. I think we kind of started talking about that earlier. So let's just break it down here. Rob, let's start with you so that D can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, so with the coach and everything he's doing, I feel like he knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants, and he's doing everything possible to achieve what he wants. His selections, his subs, his instructions to the players, blah blah blah. Everything. I feel like right now it's perfect. It's working, and the players understand what to do. Right. The only thing is on defense. I don't know if they don't understand what they need to be doing, or they just don't have the skill set to do it. You know, like giving up. So let's say we just conceded a corner, right?
Yeah.
Ball gets crossed in, blah blah blah. Now it lands on your feet. Are you supposed to just pass it to somebody else, or you can just turn and try to clear the ball? I feel like that's the only part they're missing. You know, that when we're on defense, what they need to do. And then that whole playing out of the back thing, I've already said that. Me personally, I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I really don't care what team does it. If they do it right, if they don't, if they do it right and it works, it's beautiful. But that one time where it doesn't work, then now we're looking stupid.
Yeah.
So everything is working fine. The defense just needs a little bit more work done, and then I feel like it will be a perfect dynamic altogether.
All right, D, what you think?
And I'm in line with you on that with regards to the defense. I think defense has been the biggest thing. I think the last argument I had with Edwin, for example, was because of his comments regarding defense or allowing a certain number, a whole bunch of chances to the opponent. And yes, it's a concerning fact. And I don't think I disagreed with it. My point was that it happens everywhere. These chances do happen. At the end of the day, we got to be lucky sometimes to wiggle out some type of win. What can we do? I like his tactics going forward, especially with the role that Cucurella is playing. My fear with him is, as he's going to miss the next game, for instance, Viega looks like he can handle that. He does that. Right. But the fear comes into where these two, over the previous years, we've had issues with Reese and Ben being injured. And as soon as they get injured, then we start dipping.
Correct.
I just fear if that happens, we might find ourselves in that zone. But the question is, the coach might have something else, up his sleeve. But I like the way they join in, both Gusto and Mark join in and change things up, shake things up, and cover Enzo when he drives forward and things of that nature. Our problem, like he said, Rob said, the playing in the back is a big headache. It unsettles the guys a lot of times, and it's not. I feel like it's just not good, but they seem to stick with it so bad, and
because it looks amazing on paper. Like I seen him explain that whole thing with like this made up pitch and
Right.
Positions and stuff like that. It looks amazing. It looks good, but we're not able to do it. And I don't think there's any team that's able to do it perfectly. Maybe Man City, because they have that confidence.
Man, they be digging themselves a hole too. And,
yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
I'm watching, I'm like, why are they even doing this?
Yeah.
Like, put your if y'all play basketball, right, as a guard, you're not even supposed to dribble to the corner because you're going to trap yourself, right? They talk about this quite a bit. Now, as a defender, you're on the left wing, you got a ball, you're in the corner, and you're still trying to squeeze that ball to the goalie. All these teams know what you're about to do. And the scary part for me is when they hit the ball down the middle to another player and it gets intercepted. Or it unsettled them and then they make a bad pass and then boom. So our problem right now, as Edwin mentioned on the platform the other day, yes, definitely, yes, we all agree, it's a defense. What can we do? I feel like consistency is what's going to fix it, and they're doing that. Playing with the same set of back line almost every game, and I think that's going to get it there. It's going to help. Sanchez has been amazing in his role. I don't think anybody can uproot him from that spot. It's not going to happen. I even doubt they're going to go shot for another goalie with what he's doing now. And I see, you know, a positive trend for the team with regards to that. Once their defense is fixed, man, that offense is amazing, and it's gonna get there. And I love what I'm seeing thus far.
Yeah, I jokingly said that if you score 3 or 4 goals, who cares about clean sheets, right? So if the offense can keep doing that, then we probably don't have to worry about it. But I think we're talking about defense, but we're also not really looking at where the issue kind of sort of originates, right? If it's passing from the back, it's from the defensive side. But we don't have a lot of protection from midfield. That is one thing that is very, very apparent. Every game that we play, like the first 5 minutes, you can see the opponents are just cutting through us. Brighton did that. West Ham, they were not really awake, but it's like every team gets a shot in the mid, right? And I think that is where that whole inverter thing could help out. But then even when they invert, I think Cuckoo does not do it as much as Gusto be doing lately. So it's like I just feel like they're a little bit lost when they're in that center, right? So we don't get the protection we normally would get from like a better pivot. And that is where I think we could maybe help ourselves out. And of course, playing from the back. I mean, sometimes you just got to boot it. And to Rob's point, where you're asking, like on the corner, should I pass? Should I kick it away? I think that is also like an effect of players who are overcoached, right? When you're overcoached, you're always trying to figure out what would the coach want me to do, rather than do what feels natural.
Hey, you think about who's going to take his spot.
Right. And it's like, and I feel like it's because last year we were doing that whole thing where when it comes from corner, we're trying to pass it back out. And then the player who has played the least amount of games, which was Chalobah, when he came in, whenever the corners came in and he got it, boot. Most of the time he was just booting it out, which you can tell that he has not been playing with the team a whole lot. So he was not doing the nonsense they were doing too. So I think it's just an effect of just being overcoached. And sometimes it becomes too much that they're not thinking, hey, I have the individuality to do this in this moment. And I think that could be why, we see a little bit of that going on.
So with the point where you said the help from the midfield, right, on defense, this is why I hate for Enzo to go up so high. I absolutely hate it, because so Brighton versus West Ham, right? That West Ham game, I'm pretty sure they were awake, but they couldn't do anything because Caicedo was on his absolute A game for that match. He was awake, but in the Brighton game, he wasn't really there. So now he's relying on maybe Enzo to help him out, or if at that point in time one of the fullbacks are inverted, they could help him out. But I feel like if Enzo is not really focusing on going up so high, he might be able to like help out, or like give Caicedo a break, blah blah blah. But that's the Caicedo going up. I don't. That's just their tactics, and that's just their style right now. But I hate that part. That part I hate.
But I think it's a communication thing on the field. You can tell, because it's like if he has a chance to drive for it, that means Enzo got to stay back, right, and support Cuckoo, who may have already dropped into cover up. Now, I feel like when they're doing these things, most of the time when they've gotten us on a counter, or they've gotten us when we've lost the ball going forward. That's when we've felt like we found Enzo or Caicedo in a sticky situation, because he's obviously gone far forward, and now there's a hole that needs to be filled. And then these folks are coming at us, and obviously they also splitting the wings because they know Cuckoo has dropped in the middle to help. So this is where, somebody would say, well, can we go back to the Jose time when he had Hazard tracking all the way back, like to support? Because I feel like that point, that wing back or the winger that's over there got to also run back to help, so that Cuckoo doesn't have to now be worried about two people coming at him. I feel like that could also be a thing. But then again, it's the heat of the moment. What do they do? How are they processing? How are they communicating? I think all these things, as we mentioned, if we're scoring and we are comfortable with the ball, finishing our chances, I feel like all these intangibles will be gone. Like it won't even be existing because at the end of the day, we having the ball a lot. Hence the reason why Enzo will drop forward, right? Because I mean, we have the ball. What should he sit in the hole for? Like in the back, he has no business sitting over there. He wants to go in and make that beautiful pass he's been laying off, and you see that we're messing up.
He hasn't made any beautiful passes this whole season.
Oh, come on now, come on. Just because and Andrew mentioned that the other day, he's been dropping the passes there. They're not finishing it.
No, stop that. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop these expected stats for these players, man. We need to stop that.
What do we expected stats?
Look at me. Look at this, right? Rob made a point and both of you made a point that if one player is going for it, one should know to sit back, right?
Right.
Look at if you watch the last few games last year where Gallagher and Caicedo played, right? You saw Caicedo played some of his most expressive football for Chelsea in those games, right? Because Gallagher has the legs, positional IQ to know that I need to drop back in here or chase this guy so that this guy can make that run. And
my side.
Listen to TTT. Enzo doesn't have the legs, right? And even when he gets the ball up top, what is he really doing? I really want to see what you guys are seeing because I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm not. Personally, I'm not seeing it.
Hold on. What do you want Gallagher to do?
No, I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you.
Listen. Look, naturally, right? You got to know who you are, right? You got to know if you know who you are.
Right.
There's a lot of things you do different. Let's keep it real.
Okay.
If you don't have $1 million, you're not gonna go and buy something worth $1 million. Gallagher knows his status. He knows who he is. He knows I cannot, do these extra stuff. So I'm gonna give you my legs. That's what I'm gonna give you. You do the rest of the stuff. Now Enzo feel like
if that's the case, then Enzo doesn't know who he is. Then
thank you.
No.
Thank you.
He knows who he is. When he dropped the passes to the folks, they be fucking it up.
No,
y'all need to
the passes are not making it to his intended destination.
Hold on. What do you want from him that he's not done?
I'll tell you one thing he did very nice.
I want him to sit back. Don't go anywhere. Just sit back.
Does he sit back with Argentina?
See, it's a whole different team.
You talking about a team. You talking about individual player. Does he sit back with Argentina?
Well, so he doesn't sit back with Argentina, right?
Is he effective with them? Hold on. Is he effective with them?
Not really. Well, I mean, he doesn't give any.
Rob, let me help you here.
No. When he goes to Argentina, right? Okay, right. He's gonna go do the same thing, move up, blah blah blah. But he doesn't really give any outstanding performance. He doesn't give all those. He doesn't try to give all those long passes.
That's the ones you don't see. Balls. You're looking for a long pass. Who gives a long pass when the pass is in there?
He doesn't want to
just because
he gives the long pass when the pass is in there.
No, you're gonna give it a long pass just because you got to give it a long pass. You're a quarterback. You snap the ball. You drop back. You're gonna throw a Hail Mary. There's nobody there. You're still gonna throw it and let it count as Hail Mary.
Enzo does that,
bro. Come on,
yo,
you gotta make the run to get the ball. You're not making the run. What am I supposed to do? I give the short. So he's doing the give and go with Sancho, and it's working, right? He's not giving that vital pass that you're looking for that will count on the score on the stat sheet as assist. That's what
here's the thing.
You're not seeing that, so you feel like he's not giving.
I don't want the assist. I don't care if it's an assist or it's
what you want.
I just want the pass to be effective. Granted, it's not going to be effective 100% of the time. Everybody makes mistakes sometimes,
right?
But with Enzo, I feel like his pass completion rate is you know what? Let me pull it up.
What's an effective pass to you?
If your pass gets to its intended destination.
Okay. When it gets there and the receiver isn't there, is that an effective pass?
No, because you couldn't read that run.
So it's not a receiver.
It's just like you're talking about your quarterback.
you saying it's not a receiver. It has nothing to do with the receiver. It's everything to do with the thrower or the
No,
passer.
not that.
No.
He's not
I'm not
saying that.
saying that.
He's not saying that.
Make
D,
it make sense then.
All right, D. Let me help you here. The World Cup, right? The World Cup is where Enzo, quote unquote, made his name, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
And in that series, 7-game series, he played. I think he played six of them. What made him everybody sit up and realize who Enzo was because he scored that one goal. You remember that
Okay.
in the World Cup, right? Okay.
Neither there or just
So
keep
he
going.
scored that one goal. Now
Uh-huh.
think about how Argentina themselves played. Argentina were they were very defensive, and then they had 3 people normally playing the attack, but they were very defensive in the World. So in the World Cup, Argentina were defensive, weren't they? Did you watch them?
Yeah, I did.
They were defensive, right?
I mean, they did what they had to
That's
do.
how they play their ball.
Right. So if they are defensive, that means the midfield are defending, aren't they? So what are you saying about he cannot sit back or he cannot do this? Why
No.
can't he?
No, listen. He was moving, he was passing, he was doing everything that he did with when he was at Benfica.
D, he moves, blah blah blah. But when he plays at Argentina, he knows he is not the one that is expected to make that final pass. He knows it. So he looks for the short pass, maybe try to find Messi, try to find Di Maria, so they can do the actual, final pass to try to find the goal. But when he comes to Chelsea, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but he thinks he needs to give that final pass.
That's because he's been told to do something, and I don't think he thinks he needs to give the final pass. Let's not get it twisted, because so far he's dropped passes. Even last week's game, he dropped passes that we should have made something out of. We blew it. He's connected very well with Sancho on the left side.
Mhm.
That give and go, sliding and cutting, all that stuff. He's doing a great job with that connecting.
That I'll give you that. They do that perfectly.
Yeah. For me, his flaw for me so far, as you guys say, the defensive side of it. As you say, he doesn't have the legs for it. I mean, tracking back, man, that foot is big, man. I mean, yeah, he get paid and everything, but he cannot die like that. I mean,
That's your point. That's your point.
That's where I'll take it. But
So if you know yourself and you know you don't have the legs, why are you forcing yourself to be way up high?
because
And then when we
needed
need
there.
you to be back, you're not
He
there.
has to fill in the hole.
Don't fill in the hole. We have people for that.
Okay,
then what
all right.
happens?
Well, enough about Enzo. We can all agree that he's not as effective as we would like him to be.
Yeah, as y'all would like him to be. Yeah.
Okay. I think most Chelsea fans who are not delusional see it, but okay, let's keep going.
And Maresca sees him as not what
Well,
you see him as.
If Lavia could stay fit, this would be a very interesting topic. I'm telling you now.
IF.
You what?
He stay fit, man. Just sit there and watch. You're gonna see Noni get dropped, man. That guy's a first. I sense him getting dropped very soon.
Noni.
All right, we're on Noni now.
I hate Noni so
All right,
much.
give it to me.
Because every time he knows his job is on the line, then he'll go perform. Oh my god! Every time. Once he
I don't
feels
know
like
what
his
you
job is on the
see,
line,
man. He still don't perform shit.
Man, that guy.
Yeah, I know. I got you
Anyways.
startled, man.
Nah, you haven't. You haven't.
Yeah, Rob, I didn't mean to take this up for you, right? But listen, I like to see him do well. I know he can do better.
Mhm.
This guy's issue, and I've had this issue with him for a long time. There's something in him that I feel like he thinks he's something that he's not yet. Why am I saying that? The game might seem like it's long, but see, when we try to take the best chance to take a lead, right? It puts us in a better situation to actually win a game.
Mhm.
Last week, most of the chances were going on his side.
Mhm.
Yes, he did the job. to be his marker. He did a job to get himself to the spot. Bro, lay the ball off. What's the big deal?
His decision making is
That
poor.
part of his game is a killer to the whole team.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time, both Enzo and Palmer threw their hands up. They were pissed. And what is he thinking? Coach was about to snap him off when he scored. This is the issue. Yes, and this is where I'll probably give to maybe every time then he goes out and show up. His performance, yes, he scored, right? But we could have won the game also under his watch. But we tied the game because of him.
Okay. So you're going
it's
to ignore the part where he beat his man and laid a perfect assist on for Palmer, and that ball did not cross the line. We're going to ignore that?
I didn't ignore that. How many of those type of runs did he get is my point.
He gave 2 good passes. One was to Jackson, one was to Palmer. And if you scored those 2, we're not having this conversation here.
So was it necessary for him to take the shot with a right foot?
No, it was not. It was not. And I said this on the Wolves game, that I was just saying that he shot with his right and he got lucky that all 3 went in. But on any other day, those do not go in. But it just happened to go in that day for him. And I can see that he's working on it and he's feeling confident.
Yeah, but he saw the options.
Sometimes the decision is very, very poor. And I personally, dislike it very much that he does not pass when he is supposed to. However, this is something about Nani that I personally like that a lot of people don't like. Is he is not one of the players that will be overcoached. He still retains what makes him an asset to the team. Compare him to the other side, right? You had Sancho, who was not even trying to shoot when there was a line of sight to shoot. Imagine having 2 players like that on both flanks. Do you know how wasteful we were going to be?
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of, I forgot which player we used to have that used to dribble and then doesn't make anything out of it. He just dribbles and then ends up dribbling to people.
Hazard almost used to do that.
But Hazard
almost used to do that.
But Hazard was also a pass first. So he would pass before he shoots, which is why he doesn't have the stats that make him as glorious as the other wingers. But if you watch him, you can tell who he is.
Yeah.
Right. This is why people like Sancho, because he plays the easy game, which is fine. Yeah. But when you're playing against a low block, you need somebody that can penetrate. You don't need somebody to just keep passing and passing and passing. That is why players like Nani are important. Pep is famous for overcoaching players, right? But you see how he got Doku, and Doku's doing whatever the heck he wants on his side when he's on. He passes. He also has the same terrible decision making. However, he penetrates when the team needs it. He shoots when the team needs it. Nani can improve on that one thing where if there are better options, please pass. However, I think there is this agenda trying to make him as this ultra selfish player, and they ignore all the simple passes he gives. He gives so many crisp, clean passes, and I can make a compilation for you, bro. He gives so many crisp passes that Palmer wastes, Jackson wastes. He does that all the time.
Hey,
every game I've watched him, he gives at least one crisp pass. That could
I want to hold you accountable.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and make the compilation that you have.
I'll find it for you.
For Nani, and make one for Enzo as well. Now, if it's about compilation, we can make them. John Mikel Obi has a lot of them, bro. Yeah. If that's the direction we're gonna go, we're gonna find it. You see what I'm saying? No,
you're missing the point, though. You're missing the point.
I'm not disputing what you said.
Okay,
he can get better. He does a lot of things right. When he gets to the final third, that's where he's effing up at. I mean, bro, you see the passes they're giving. There's so much. What word am I looking for? There's so much honor in giving that pass for your player, your teammate to score.
Right.
You get equal mention. A coach will keep you in a game when you keep passing. When you give the pass where it's needed. Yes, take a shot when it's. If you're going to take the shot, that's fine. Put it on where you see the space to take it.
Right.
I agree with it. Right. You want to be the player. He's always winning that that right side he drops to go along the baseline to come in. I love that. I said baseline, touchline. He's doing that stuff, and I like it about him. I love the vim he has. Right, he believes in himself.
He does.
But I think he needs to control it, and that's where coaching comes in. Because if he's doing too much of it, I'm pretty. Like I said, Maresca was about to yank him out. He said something to him. Hence the reason why he celebrated the way he did.
Right,
and then he got the coach laughing. So it's one of those situations. Like, do what you got to do. That shot, he had to take it. Right, the one he took to score, he had to take it, and it came out perfect. But again, he could have won us the game. It's my point. I'm not saying that he's not doing everything else right. He could have. This same person we were talking about could have won us the game easily, and we would never struggle the way we did. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's good. He could get better, and I agree with you on all those points. But if you're going to make compilation, just make some.
Oh no! If you agree, there's no point. There's no
point. Compilation for Enzo. It will maybe back passes. Yeah.
Bro, it would all be from Potter's season. That's when he was dropping those long passes and actually meeting somebody. That was it, bro. I don't know what y'all seeing. I'm just saying. I just don't know.
I don't know who you be hanging with, man. You changed, man. What did you smoke?
I see now. Every time I watch our games, right, I have this microscope on Enzo every time.
Oh my god, that's not good. See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
It's not a problem because you guys have him at this standard in the group chat. I'm like, bro, what are you guys seeing that I'm not seeing? So now I'm like, okay,
if he does well,
so I see it too.
If he does well, we mention it. That's all we do. I don't dwell on him as much, to be honest. Right. Yeah, I don't. But I gotta call a spade a spade. Like you mentioned, Sancho. I was pissed off at him over the weekend because, bro, the shot you dropping defenders.
So
left and right.
Sancho, right? I think it's a confidence thing for him right now. His confidence has been killed by Ten Hag. So he needs to grow out of that. Because when he was at Dortmund, man, he was doing way better than this. He was shooting left and right. I just feel like it's a confidence thing for him. That's what I see in Sancho. Because he like dribbling, that's just natural to him. He can dribble.
Man, I think he dribbles better than Hazard. I'm sorry, but he's dropping these guys.
Whoa, easy, relax.
Easy there. Easy there.
If you look at his dribbles.
No, relax.
He's dropping these guys. Like,
yes, he's a great dribbler. I wouldn't compare him to Hazard, but yeah, with the whole shooting thing, I just think it's the confidence, and his confidence has been killed by Ten Hag, so he just needs to grow out of that, and then we'll see improvement from that side as well. Yeah. There's hope. There's hope. I have hope in him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's like a player that is like he would do like he gives assists, but they're how do I even put it? It's like the assist that kind of like just happens. So it's like I'm just gonna pass it, right? And then like think of the first goal that Nkunku scores with his first assist. It's like I'm just gonna pass it, do something with it.
Yeah, so with him and his assist, the finisher is making something out of nothing, which correct. Is what it's helping him.
Right.
It wasn't like a clear when he was given the pass. We thought it was like us watching. We probably weren't thinking it was going to end up in the back of the net, but it did.
Right.
So what was DJ getting his head for?
Let's hear it.
Now I disagree. Look. Let me go to Palmer's assist. The assist to Palmer for the goal. One of the goals to the left.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly which one you're talking about. One he shot it with his left.
That pass is one of those passes that Iniesta would give. There's a type of pass that Messi would give or get back. That type of pass is not easy because he laid it off through that channel, right?
Yes.
That spot, not many players would think to even drop a pass there.
But then, not everybody who receives that pass would think to shoot that ball.
What do you think Nani would do with that ball?
Nani wouldn't shoot that ball. I promise you.
Not
Nani
a lot of
shoot that ball from his right foot. Nani would not shoot that ball. if it was on his right foot, on the other side.
It was on the left though, so he would have.
So that's what I'm saying. It was on the left for Palmer.
Yeah,
Noni would definitely not end up in that position. Let's not even.
Yeah, 'cause he's over here.
let's not go there.
So let's
on the
go
other
to
side.
the right side where he would.
What would Jackson do with that ball?
Jackson
would pass it.
He probably won't even get to the ball. I promise you.
No, he will get to the ball and pass it.
He would get there. He
And pass
will
it.
either pass
No.
or shoot, and
Let
then
me
hit the
tell you
side.
why I don't think Jackson would have gotten to that ball. He wouldn't have seen the vision of the pass.
Oh, come on now. He
And
does.
I
He
say
does
this,
that part.
I say this because
No.
Jackson
That-
himself,
Bro,
Jackson himself cannot give that pass.
Jackson can give that pass. Stop playing.
No. Come on. That pass that Sancho gave to Palmer, Jackson cannot give that
Bro,
pass.
but
And
if
you
you
see, he be
backtrack,
dropping
right?
these passes a lot, though. Those
He passes
passes.
a lot.
It has become his signature. He's been dropping those passes there a lot. Like
But
I saw one with him and Enzo. I saw one with him and even Cucurella. And like in that corner, they've been doing amazing things there, right?
yeah, they
The
do the same
things
thing
they need to
you
bring it in and
want
take a
to.
shot. You got to bring it in and take a shot. And I think as the season progresses, we'll see more of those things. And as he goes back and watch the tapes, he will see where he missed the opportunity to bend it into the net. When he dropped Aina, he could have scored, or he could have at least take a shot. But that goalie saved them, though. I mean, bro, let's.
I mean, our goalie saved
Our
us too.
goalie saved us too.
yeah, 2 times, 2 clear ones.
Yeah,
that game. But
so
man,
D,
that
just
game
to
was-
bring that back for a second, right? You know how I keep telling you about allowing too many chances?
Yeah,
Okay, so that is what I say when I say we allow too many chances. The quality of those chances are way too high for my liking, right? And I
Right.
keep telling you that it's not because I don't think, it's like it doesn't happen elsewhere. But if you're giving these chances away all the time, it's only a matter of time that somebody will punish you.
hey, Man City gave 3 of them on Sunday. Was it when did they? When
Saturday.
I'm like, yo, I was shocked. I'm like, there's no way they should have won that game.
Right.
That's football for you.
Quality.
That's just the Chelsea fan in you hoping they would drop points. That's just
I don't
you
say,
hoping they
look.
would drop points.
All right. I think
I
we've
can
done.
hope all I want, but it won't happen. The only teams that I was hoping I wanted them to lose was Arsenal, and actually and Liverpool. I wanted them to lose. City, I know they
I
weren't
knew
going to
Liverpool was not going to lose. I just knew.
All right. Well, that brings us right to the next one, which is the league position and projection. Yes, Liverpool technically are the actual best team in the league and the expected best team in the league as well. So they're pretty much 1-for-1 right now. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Based on
According
what?
to expected stats, Chelsea is the second best
expected.
team in the league.
Okay.
And according to expected stats, Arsenal, who I think is currently second or third, is, I believe, 6th or 8th best team in the league.
So who's 3, 4, and 5?
So 3 is City. I think 4 is Tottenham, and 5 might be Villa. Expected stats.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, right? Arsenal is currently 3rd, and expected stats are, I think, 6th or 8th. What do you think they're doing better?
They win it.
No, well,
No.
yes, but
I mean, you can
Ars-
say, you're gonna
Arsenal-
talk defend it. They defend it better.
Yes. Arsenal is definitely defending better. I like their defense, and I like the way they're set up on even on offense, like on corner kicks, the way their center backs go up and go make an impact. But then if it doesn't turn into a goal, the speed at which they will recover and get back in position is amazing. Like that Arsenal team on defense, they're doing great. They're doing great.
Continuity.
Yes, that's
Consistency.
true. And then on
Familiarity.
offense this season so far they're getting lucky. They are the real they are the real definition of luck on offense right now, in my opinion. So that's why I feel like they're third, but then they're expected to be what you said, 6th,
8th or 6th, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
but Edwin, so you see what the Arsenal is doing now, especially with their back line, right? They've been playing together consistently for I think 2 seasons straight. Same guys. You know, a few injuries here and there, but it's the same, at least the 2 center backs.
Gabriel and Saliba.
Yeah, they've been very consistent. And I feel like that's their drive. That's what's happening with them. I mean, when Gabriel, whatever his name is, when he started off, you know, he was a bit sketchy, and then now all of a sudden he's so confident.
Yeah.
He goes for it. Their set pieces is like basically all for him.
Yeah.
And actually it's for their center backs because I guess they had the height to do it. But I feel like they're doing so great with that side of their ball play. When I see them, Arsenal as a team, I'm not seeing anything extraordinary that they're doing. However, results is what counts. They get in the results when they need it. When you think the game is so tight, like at some point I thought the game was so close and they're going to end up with a draw, and then boom, they started scoring like out of nowhere and, you know, kill the game off. Something that we maybe kind of lack a bit, but this season actually I don't want to even bash us so much when it comes to us maybe scoring and putting things away. I guess it looks like we're doing pretty well with that. Obviously, we haven't faced like maybe people say tough opponents, but I mean, we play City. I mean, they counted Liverpool. I don't see them doing anything so great, to be honest with you. And I feel like when we play them, we'll figure it out. Like we'll figure out who they really are.
Right. So everybody keeps saying that too, that Liverpool also haven't played anybody that is great or good just yet. They've been just, you know, they've just been coasting, right? However, again, expected stats are not everything, but it tells a story, right? And that story is that they're doing what they need to do actually and as expected, right? So it's like you can only play what's in front of you, but what's in front of them, they've played Man U. I mean, they're not the best team. They're not a good team right now, but they've still played them. And it's a place where normally there's some kind of fight, but we haven't seen it recently. They've played little teams where for like a new coach, there's a chance that he could slip up. Like Crystal Palace is like a team where you could easily slip up. That game, they could have probably lost too, but they still did what they had to do and went through it. They had the chances. Jota could have had a hat trick. He missed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's like, so on average, they're doing what they need to do with what they have, you know, played. So I think Chelsea's, the one thing that skews ours is that Crystal Palace is a game that we should have probably won. Bournemouth is one we may have probably tied, but Crystal Palace we should have probably won. And I think Forest was like a good draw. It's like a fair draw, I think. So yeah, Forest was a fair draw.
It was. What?
Gee, tell me no.
This season, Forest, what they've conceded 6 goals.
Only less than Liverpool.
Arsenal has conceded 6 goals. The only team that has conceded less than these
Liverpool.
2 teams is Liverpool.
Yep.
This season they're doing amazing. Even Man City has conceded 8 goals. Forest has conceded only 6. They've played Chelsea, they've played Liverpool, but they've only conceded 6 goals. These 2 teams alone should have been able to score them 6 goals.
All right, D, we're listening. Rebuttal.
I don't want to say anything.
Why not?
It's just one of those things. Honestly, like defensively, I don't think they did anything to stop us. We stopped ourselves. They didn't do anything specifically to stop us. The number of times we got there close, the number of times we almost entered the net, all that stuff. I'm looking at that, right? I'm looking at the fact the ball got to the line and came. If it was back in the days without goal line technology, they would have called that ball a go. So then that would have been conceding, correct? Yeah, but we're not looking at that. I give that to you all. But the point of the matter is we get in there. What did they do uniquely to stop us? You see what I'm saying? So when you say it was a deserving draw, or whatever, I don't think it was
I
deserving.
said it was a fair draw. I didn't say deserving. Fair.
I don't think it was fair draw because, I mean, we dominated the game 100%. Bro, we dominated the game. Yes, they had chances to score and they missed as well, but we still dominated the game. I mean, and we didn't dominate where we putting the ball left, right. We're actually going for it. We were attacking. We just did not make great of our chances or opportunities that we had in front of us. Holding the ball doesn't.
They beat Liverpool,
result.
Right?
What's that?
So they beat Liverpool, right?
Of course. That's why I don't respect Liverpool.
You always say that, and then Liverpool stop jinxing us, man. Stop jinxing us.
That's what I'm saying. I say it, but that's where I talk about luck in football, because Liverpool have played really some close games, right? And they've ended up winning. And these things do come with winning teams. There were times when Chelsea was back in the days, even with the big name players, we had the Drogbas, the Balaks, and then we had games where it's like we were getting nothing out of it, and all of a sudden, boom, we score one goal. Remember, quality. We used to win 1-0, 1-0.
It's quality.
We couldn't score many goals.
Because of quality, man. It's
exactly. It comes with it. And I feel like even some of our wins is because of that. It's because of the aura around the team and the vibe that they have going.
The aura.
Hey, was it you that?
Bro, the aura, man. I love it.
I didn't plan to drop that one.
I love it.
All right. So this season, one thing that I wanted to kind of touch on before we sign off is a lot of fans online have been saying, "Oh, last year we would have lost that game. Last year we would have drawn that game. Last year we would have lost this game, right?" So I took it upon myself to do like a quick stats comparison.
Oh God!
So we played 7 games, right? And of those 7 games, the reverse from last year, City, we lost 1 point because we had tied. Oops, excuse me about that. So City, we have lost 1 point because last year we tied both games, right? So that is 1 less point. Crystal Palace, we beat them both times last year, but right now we tied them. So that's 2 points lost. However, our big reverse is Wolves, which is where we lost both games last year, but this year we pummeled them. So now we're like up, it's like even. And then I think Forest is the only tiebreaker right now, which is last year we lost our home game against Forest. This time we got 1 point. So based on last year's games and this year, we're 1 point better from those games, which is still improvement, right? Moving forward.
Keep going.
Now, the only thing that I have noticed among those games is that we have gotten teams where we want them. Only I think Forest came in with a lot more like defensive setup, and then maybe Crystal Palace did a little bit of that too. But for the most part, teams have been a lot more open than they were last year. I believe last year at the start of the year, we were always complaining about low blocks, defensive, drop backs, and now we're getting a lot of like expansive teams or teams trying to play expansive. Brighton, let's see, Brighton definitely. Wolves did that.
Brighton, they need to fix that. It's gonna be bad for them.
You see, but as far as you're scoring a lot of goals, you may be just fine. So yeah, so that was like the little interesting tidbit I found on the team compared to last year. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, that good job doing the stats, but it's stupid.
Elaborate.
It's stupid for all kinds of reasons, but for me, mainly, it's because you're looking at teams from last year. Everybody has changed, and we are in a different year. Things have changed. That's a full stats for me to look at, right? I think before the season started, you put out a stat little thingy for predictions. I don't know if you have the receipt for that.
I do.
Yeah. So I don't know how many games you had mentioned after how many games where we were gonna go or how many points we were gonna get.
I said after 10 games is where the league takes shape. I don't recall putting up points. I think we put up the first few games to
Right.
see how many points we will get from that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did some predictions. I kind of
Yep.
wanted to see it, what I
I'll
said.
find it for you. I'll find it for you.
Yeah, but I do know that I did place us in top 4, right?
Yes, season prediction. Yep, you did
um,
put us top 4.
and I know, and even the goals. Honestly, the goals we've scored have probably surprised a lot of people, probably including yourself, especially the fact we didn't have a new striker other than Jackson, um, and to even many folks as well. But at the end of the day, I look at it from a different perspective of, I have this sense of hope, right? And trust in what I feel like is going to happen and what I'm expecting. And I don't give up or quit easily on what I'm expecting the team to do. And I do believe that Chelsea will get there. Where we're sitting is great. Your stats is cool and everything, but I feel like the vibe is different. What the team is doing to get the results we're getting is in the same thing we did the previous years or the last year to get, even if it's the same, it's not the same because the spirit is different. The fans have a different vibe. And even yourself, I mean, you weren't a believer at some point, but now I feel like your belief level has changed because of the performances you've seen so far or what they've shown.
It
Even folks that
hasn't changed. It hasn't changed.
it hasn't changed. Okay,
It
that's fine.
hasn't changed. I am enjoying the upturn in performance and results. However, like I just told you, we are 1 point better off from the reverse. You think it's stupid, but people like to say last year we would have lost that game, right? So I
Yeah,
just
we
wanted to
would have.
put that into perspective for you. You've had a whole year to train with those players. Now with a different coach, sure, but again, reverse that we're 1 point better off. So, like I always say, I am cautiously optimistic. I'm not letting go of my caution yet. So, sorry, continue.
At that point, we don't care how you feel, whether you're cautiously optimistic or not. We are super optimistic. We don't care. We're going for it. We're going for everything in front of us. And I believe that this team can do it. The aura is awesome. It shows star performances, right? That's what That's what Rob defined as the distinction between a superstar and a regular star. Look, the team is gelling, the team is balling, and I know we're going to get much better results. And I feel like the narrative is going to change a lot when we return back next week and beat Liverpool. When we return back next week and start getting these results that everybody think all of a sudden these folks are the top, the creme de la cremes of the PL and whatnot, and it will change the conversation, even among the commentators who be saying the worst things to Chelsea fans, or about Chelsea and everything, all the trash talking that's been going on around. They've all started having a different tune, and if they were to talk about last year, they would not agree with your point, right? Because it's different. It feels different. And it's worthy to be said. And I agree, like I said, your stats, it makes sense, but it's stupid at the same time. But I give you credit for it. I mean,
to you, but it's right there for you to it's right there to you for you. All right, Rob, I'll let you go one time before I go back to D. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, you gonna come back to me, bro?
I'm gonna come back to you, bro.
Sign off. Like league position and everything right now, like I said before, I'm happy with it. We're doing what we're doing, and it could. I think it can only get better. Right. I don't see us doing any worse unless something drastic happens. Like we just out of nowhere 3 injuries at the same time, something like that. But other than that, I feel like the only way is up. I see us personally finishing top 2.
Ooh!
That's
wow!
That's my guy.
Whenever I go to work, I have this coworker who's a Man City fan. He asked me, "Oh, so what you see us up?" I'm like, "Yeah, Chelsea and Liverpool are the ones that are in the title race right now." even though Chelsea is fourth.
Wow. Okay,
He's like,
that's
oh, so
bold.
what about
That's
Arsenal
bold.
and Man City? I'm like, yeah, third and fourth. You guys can fight for it. I don't care. But top
That's
two is
bold.
Chelsea, Liverpool.
That's
Dang.
bold.
That's
bold.
what
I didn't expect that from you, Rob, but
I did
didn't
not.
know the whole time you and I were on a similar page with regards to this. But I thank you very much for today. You made my day. I think I'll sleep pretty well.
Hey,
No,
you're welcome.
that is bold. I'm going to put this in the group so that we
Yeah,
can.
but yeah, definitely Chelsea
All right.
top two this season. For
Top
sure.
two. Okay, D. What's your projection based on what we've seen so far? Say it. Put your mouth on it. Just say it.
Nah, it's some questions you shouldn't ask me.
No, I have to.
Okay, you want it? Is it okay for me to say top two?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, we're gonna be in top two.
All right. So my projection is we're gonna be top four. First, I had us top six. I'm moving back us up to top four. I still think we should be winning conference league. Conference
I don't want that shit.
conference league. You don't want it?
No, I don't want it.
No. We need to win
We're
it.
gonna be upset.
We need to win it.
See, at first I didn't want it, but now I feel like
Hey, if you don't get it, Man U fans is gonna come for you.
no. Here's the thing. I feel like now there is no way we can't get it.
There's no way we shouldn't get it. Don't say can't.
No, there is no way we cannot get it.
Okay. All right.
Because, like I said before, our B team, they're gonna win us that title.
He gonna change it.
I won't change it.
No, I'm saying like I feel like the coach
Okay.
will adjust when the competition gets tougher.
Oh yeah. He's definitely gonna start switching out a couple players here and there. But the team overall together, there's no way we cannot win that title. It's done.
All right. So just one last point of contention here. D, if you have such high hopes for the team, right? Why do you argue when I have high expectations for players?
For what you mean? For you have high expectation for a player,
Right.
I
So
don't argue with that.
you always like why are you setting this
When you
projection for
diminish
players?
them, listen. When you diminish the players versus having high, we all have high expectations for the players. But when you talk down on them, that's where I have issue with.
Okay. You always say this, right? But can you point to a part where I have talked down on the player that wasn't saying I do not see this and this and this and that player? I don't ever like talk down the player. Do you see me calling anybody? Yeah. Do you see me doing any of that nonsense? No. I give you what I've
Because
seen.
you don't call people that because that's not your thing. That's not it wasn't your thing. Somebody started Jackson, and you don't want to pick up on somebody else's trend. It's not cute. So I give you there's a reason why you wouldn't do that. But
It's not cute.
It's not sweet.
All right, guys. Well, if it comes to being cute, Chelsea fans are feeling cute right now, and we hope to keep that feeling moving forward here. We'll be back again with you next week to talk about upcoming games, and I think we're gonna have a special pod for you guys. All right, and this is the Top of the Bridge pod. I am Edwin, your host, and today we had panelists Big Rob and Dr. D. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you very much for replaying this. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Continue to follow, subscribe, spread the word. We enjoy doing this, and we hope that you enjoyed hearing this.
Chelsea's back, though. We're back.
Chelsea's back. We're going to find out.
And we never left.
Hey.
According to Dr. D,
all right,
we never left. But right now, we have to leave. Top of the bridge. Signing off now.
All
Good
right.
night.
It's been a pleasure.